Wow, this music is pretty impressive. Yep. Hey, what's up, Maple Glaze? How you doing? Are you on Twitch? I didn't know my Twitch was setting up right now. That's crazy. All right, so we're just editing a little bit today to get some samples out, showing people how we do what we do and how we do it. Oh, that's pretty. Let's see if we got a decent one on this one. Sorry for all the pauses, guys, but sometimes when you have a when you're a photographer, you kind of like wear all the different hats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like the receptionist, aka slash marketer slash just customer service slash everything. Oh, I love that one. Oh, I got a dirty filter, a dirty. Oh, that's cute. I'm not 100% sure about this music, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little bit crazy, so I do apologize. I'm sorry for the mess in the background. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. It's insane. It's actually insane. But hey, I'm interested. If you guys want us to do like any kind of like image reviews or whatever like that, I'm down. In 1 second here. See what we can come up with. go ahead and go into here. I picked a couple, but there's just one that I really want to work on right here. Although it's not these, probably these two, these three. Which one we do the best on? I like that one the best. So we're gonna throw this one in Photoshop. Did just the base adjustments, you know, kind of we went ahead and did you know, just adjust the exposure a little bit. I like to capture everything I can, that way I can edit the real file in there. But we adjusted the exposure. We you know, got rid of some of the highlights, just dropped it down a little bit, boosted the clarity, boosted the hue and saturation. All that's done in Lightroom. You know, and I always tell this. Lightroom is an image editing software, while Photoshop is an image enhancing software. So basically, when you capture your original images, of course, you definitely want to shoot in RAW. It's going to give you a lot more power to make adjustments in post versus, you know, shooting in JPEG and not being able to do that. But you know, you can just white balance and that sort of stuff. A lot of that, like I said before, I like to get right in the camera. That way I know, you know, because I have an idea of what my white balance is as far as the Kelvin scale goes. I usually keep it right around 5200 Kelvin scale, just to give it a little bit warmth, but doesn't make everyone look orange. But I wanted you guys to see what we actually put into our newborn photography. Shay is a remarkable newborn photographer. She let me help her out on this session. You know, we kind of tag teamed this session together, and just captured some really strong images. And it helped that the baby was absolutely perfect. The Gober families always have perfect babies. So this is actually the third Gober baby that we've gotten newborns for, but we photographed all 4 of them since the oldest was 1 year old. So it's just been a joy watching that family grow and just everything. So, but we're going to check this out. We're going to see what we can do. Might go a little bit harder on this one. It's been a while since I've actually been able to dive in and get lost in the image. My first session's not until 1, so I have an hour. And I'm just going to go in here and just have fun with it because I really enjoyed the session, like I said. And I've been really craving getting into some creative stuff. So let's check it out. Let's see what we can do. All right, so the very first thing I'm going to do is fix the background thing. You know, we have a little floor mat. We print up different floors here in the studio. We have a huge printer. I don't know if you can see it from there. Definitely off though, huh? Yeah, let's not do that. We won't try that again. But we have a huge printer that we print all of our stuff up with, and it prints up to like 40 inches wide. So sometimes the back of it, I have to extend it a little bit, which is easy. You can use the Content Aware tool. I'm just going to use the clone stamp just so I can kind of follow the lines myself and make them look a little less, you know, computer generated kind of thing. See how that would have definitely shown up in Photoshop or in the Content Aware. That does that type of crap all the time. It drives me crazy. And then like for the wood back here, I want to keep that, but I also want it to be like it's flush against the wall. So we're going to bring that down just a hair like so. And then we're going to come all the way across like so. So it lines up real good. Like so. All right, and then we're going to go right here, and we're going to go over, and then we get that white piece right there. All right. So that looks fairly good. Now I'm gonna go back through with a harder brush. So right now my brush is set at 0% hardness. I'm gonna go back through it with like a 60% hardness, because if you look right here, the line right here and the line right here are 2 different ones, so it makes it look different. So we're gonna go back through here. And you know, there's a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing with AI, and we don't like doing that. We want every piece, we don't want there to be a possibility of them doing that, you know, somewhere else, and you know, doing what they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't, it seems like it loses its personal touch. I don't like how this has been cloned. So I'm going to go back in here with a healing tool, and we're going to just make it big enough to pop a couple of those out of the picture. And that way they're not there anymore. I Actually, I'm just gonna take all of them out. Screw it. All right, and it still didn't show up just right. So now I'm gonna use the stamp tool, and we're gonna go through. And I'm just gonna kind of blend that in just a little bit with the white, just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. There we go. All right, this piece right here. Any eyesores, I get out of the way. You know, I want the baby to be exactly what it's supposed to be, and that's the center of attention. All right, and then any kind of like scratches, just things that we've collected, if you will, in the past of the set being used. And honestly, I'm going to be putting an overlay over this anyway, because I want to keep that wood floor look, but I also want to keep a rustic kind of look going to it. So we're going to do that for sure. All right, cool. All right, so we got that. Move this over just a little bit. Very good. All right, so now I want to look at my warm overlays. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and check any kind of discoloration, any kind of eye boogers, get those out of the way. I just want it to kind of look like she fell asleep right there in that little bowl. Just like that. There we go. Very nice. All right, so now let's go ahead and soften the skin. I'm going to use my Imagenomic. I like to use Portrait 3. They came out with Portrait 4. I'm just not a big fan of it, really. So let's use Imagenomic Portrait 3. And we're going to select the skin tone. We're going to zoom in. I got it set on medium right now. I'm just going to see what it looks like. Yeah, just like that. I don't like to go too hard on that one because it really does take away a lot away from the baby and the picture. All right, so baby's just a little bit off center, so this is what I'm going to do on that one. I'm going to go ahead and crop, and we're going to move it this way because I don't want to lose any of the background really right there. And then I'm going to see what content aware gives us over here. I might do a little bit of adjustment, I'm sure, but all right, so it did the floor pretty good. I'm gonna go back and do a couple touch-up things on it. Like this part right here needs to be over. Okay, then we're gonna put, that's one large piece of palette wood, so we're gonna come over here, do this right here. Like so. And then we're going to go right here, and we're going to do this right here, like so. Okay, so now we got baby in where baby needs to be, okay? So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to take one of my filter pieces here, which I like a lot, and I'm going to switch it around to where the dark angle is away from the light, so that's the dark angle right, the dark corner anyway. And I'm going to go right across it, and we're going to go just as large. I'm not too worried about covering the baby right now because I'm just getting this bottom part, this vignette kind of area there. So we're gonna go right there, and I'm gonna play around with the blending styles. So I'm gonna play around with like multiply. I like soft light a lot. Soft light works out really good, but because I'm wanting it to be a little darker to bring more attention to the baby, I'm gonna do the multiply, and then we're gonna do a mask on it and do a masking brush. And we're going to do it at 50%. And we're just going to go over the main spots first, the parts that I don't want this to be, And right now, I forgot I had that brush at 60%, but we're going to 0% hardness on that brush, okay? And I'm just going to go through, and we're going to go ahead and mask off. And it doesn't even have to be perfect, but we're only at like a 50% brush. And we're just masking off the stuff that we don't want really masked. So this one is just for the floor. So I'm going to go through here just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, this is just things that we're going to go back through, and we can do a whole bunch of different, options after we get this masked through. Okay. And I'm going to do a 30%, and that's where I'm going to go right over here, and we're going to start working away from the floor. See how that did that? All right. That gives it a nice, a little bit more deeper of a feel to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do with that. All right. The next thing I'm doing is I have a floral overlay I got to find real quick. That when I took this picture, it immediately made me think of it. So see if I can find it real quick. How's everyone doing today? Everyone doing good? See, we got 4 viewers watching. That's awesome. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. All right. I'm gonna mess with this though. It's a little brighter, but what I can do is I'll take this and I'll adjust the hue and saturation on that one. And we're gonna bring that saturation down just a little bit, just because I kind of just want the texture with a little bit of the hue, not much at all. All right, so we're gonna go that, and we're gonna do soft light on that one. No, I don't like soft light. Let's do I don't know. I'm digging multiply on these. I don't know if I'm just in a darker mood today or what, but I'm really digging multiply on these. Let's do overlay. What's up? Hard light. Not feeling that. Well, maybe. Let's try this hard light real quick. I'm just gonna start brushing off, you know, just where things where I feel like it's too harsh, you know, just the subject, of course, you know, I don't want to destroy everything, you know, like with just overlaying things. Like I rarely ever like having the subject having overlay on anything, you know, like, but like the outside of a baby and stuff, see how that kind of gives it kind of like a majestic kind of feel. All right, so now we got that. I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna go to my art folder. I have an art folder. I have no idea where it hides. Do you ever have a file on your computer just hide from you, bro? It's insane. All right, so there it is. There's my art folder. Now let's take a look. I'm gonna bring that to the window so you guys can see that. And by all means, if you see a texture you think is going to work good with that, let me know. But this is my art folder here, okay? I just saw that one pink one called Flamingo. I like that one a lot. Smudginess looks good. There it is, Sweet Dreams. That's the one I want right there. I knew I had one. So I'm gonna do sweet. Oh, I like that one too. All right. So what we're doing is we're taking different textures, and it's kind of like mashing up a song, right? So we're taking different textures and we're mashing it up to create something that we want to look like. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do is go with the Sweet Dreams. Love this one because of the girliness of it and almost like the floral kind of thought of it. You know, I think that looks really good, and the cream looks really good too, especially for the baby skin tone. So we're gonna put that right in the middle for a hot spot action, and then we're gonna go straight to soft light now. Sometimes you get it on there and you're just like, do I really want this on here? But I do want this on there for sure. Let's do that. Let's go straight hardcore art with it, bro. I don't know if I want any of that up there. I might go back out here and get rid of this a little bit more. Alright, so now I saw that other one that actually had the body out there. Just extend it out a little bit, see if I can, you know, make it fit the way I want it to make it work, you know. All right, so now we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna do lighting on that one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do a stamp tool brush. We're just gonna get some of these out of here. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Photography Zen 101. We're going to go and solidify that. We're going to go ahead and merge those layers, which is probably every photographer that's watching right now is probably like, what the frick is going on here? That's honest to God. All right. So I know I broke every rule right there. All right. So we're going to go spoonful of sugar. Now we're going to work on the color grading. All right, so I use a collection known as Greater Than Gatsby. I love all their stuff. They're just phenomenal. There's some there that are like really amazing, and then there's some there that are like, why? You know, but they're still the amazing ones outweigh the why ones. So I'm doing spoonful of sugar here as our base. We're gonna make it clean and bright as the flowery. I'm gonna drop that down obviously because we did lose a little bit of skin tone with that. All right, after that, I'm gonna add some sunlight to it. All right, so even though this particular action is actually for outdoor pictures, I'm gonna use it for this studio picture here, just to add a little bit of warmth to the picture. And we're gonna drop that down just like that, just a little bit. So we still have that kind of pastel feel, but you know, texturized, love that. All right, next one I'm gonna do is Composition 8. It's gonna create a dark, bolder color, and I'm gonna keep that around the edges just a little bit more, but then I'm gonna take the mask, I'm gonna go on the inside, and we're just gonna go ahead and kind of color it off a little bit of the baby. All right, because now we have a good foundation of what the picture that we want is here. And when I come back through and get the rest of that, you know, you'll see the difference in how it works and stuff. All right, so we got the Composition 8 there. That looks good. Just checking to see if there's anything else that I want to put on it to kind of make it pop a little bit more. Let's go ahead and I want to see what this does. Yeah, good. That's what I was hoping it would do. I wanted to grab the purple in those flowers. I thought that would be a really good additive. So let's go ahead and get that off, baby, though. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to merge again. No. All right, so merging again, and we're going to go in, and I'm going to add a layer that I use a lot. I just absolutely love it. So we're going to add another texture on top. And I'm going to flip that around so the dark pieces are on the end and away from the light. I knew the light was on the left side of this image. So we're going to do that like so. And now this is going to warm everything that we did originally up. So it's going to warm it all up. So we're going to go warm, or I'm sorry, soft light. And there, see how it warmed it all up? Not a big fan of that particular version. See, I do like the darker one. Let's try that, and let's mask a lot of it off, but just keep what we want. So I'm going to do a 50% opacity brush, and let's go through here. We're going to, you know what? It is not all the way up there. It is a small smidgen of a, there we go. It's weird. Awesome. So back to opacity brush. Excellent. All right, and then last but not least, we're going to go back in, and we're going to go to the Greater Than Gatsby collection, and we're going to go to, where's it at? Where is that? It's my favorite freaking thing. Super Depth Vignette. There it is. I was like, where did it go? All right. And we do a Super Depth Vignette, and that looks really good. I'm going to go over the baby's skin on this one. Excellent. There we go, right there. So we got over the baby's skin right there. It looks good. Hey Kennedy, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Ariana, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. All right, so see how that lightened that up so much? That looks really good. And I like how it pulls the baby away from the box. Okay, now because I'm kind of readjusting the light here with the backgrounds and stuff, I'm going to readjust a shadow too that should be there if the light was a little more not balanced. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a layer, and then we're going to go over to multiply. I'm going to do 20%, or let's do 30% brush. Obviously we're going to do black to create the shadow, but I'm going to go right in here, and I'm just going to draw it on this new layer. Don't worry, it's not going to look this way at the ending, I promise. The photographer adding shadow to his thing. All right, so we're going to go filter, and we're going to go blur, and I'm going to do a Gaussian blur on that. There we go. So I don't want the shadow to be too harsh, you know. I just want it to be present. There you go. So there's that. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna adjust the reds just a little bit. It's a hue and saturation. We're gonna go to the reds. I'm gonna take that just a hair. Very good. And then let's do the magentas. Let's go and pop those up a little bit. And the blues. All right, and last but not least, with the fine art picture, you know, as far as the newborns and stuff go, what I'm going to do is a paint-lerie effect, okay? The paint-lerie effect is another one of my favorite effects. So we're going to go to the Da Vinci Light Paint and Clean Contrast. It's my favorite one. Once again, this is all in the Greater Than Gatsby collection. I want to go ahead and give props to them. Hashtag Greater Than Gatsby. Let me sponsor. Become a sponsor. All right, so here we go, and we're going to hit play. And it's going to want to flatten the image, which it already is, but it's going to make two layers. One layer is going to have the Da Vinci on it. See how that looks painted and such. So I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. You can see the paintedness of it. Isn't that gorgeous? All right. And the other layer does not. So we're going to take our brush, and then on our mask, we're going to go right in here. And I just want details. So I'm going to right here to her eyes. No wrinkles in her eyes. Her little nose shadow. And her other eye. No wrinkle. Wrinkles in the knuckles are good. Oh, I'm going to do that. That hand has good wrinkles already. The hair is huge. I like having the hair out there and the ear. I want to keep the bow kind of painted, so I'm not really worried about the bow. There we are. All right. I'm just playing around now, so I don't really know if I'm going to keep this way or not, but I'm going to see what I'm doing with this. Now, if you're doing this and a color like the vignette colors, I absolutely love in this one. I meant to do it with like a harsher kind of pinkish purplish because a baby girl, you know, I wanted it something, and we'll definitely give the family an alternate of this one as well. Because usually when I do like the fine art ones or the ones I might want to use, you know, for portfolio you work or stuff like that, I often want to make sure that, you know, we also give in case they don't like it, because it's all about, you know, what you like. You know, there could be a piece of artwork that someone thinks is the most magnificent thing that they've ever seen, and then another person thinks, why are you even looking at that? So I want to make sure that that is something that's, you know, taken care of. But so this is a fine art one. We'll go ahead and I'm going to show you like a non-fine art one too. But this would be a great canvas. This would be a great, you know, it would transfer to that beautifully because of the paint effect. It's beautiful. Like seeing it in print is so much different than just having the digital. There's so many people that are just like, I just want the digital, I want the digital. And then what happens is you never print the picture up. It literally stays on an online gallery. And I'm telling you right now, the difference between a print and a digital is huge, man. It's absolutely huge. You know, when I sit down later on with my kids with my wedding album, I'm sitting down to a printed wedding album. I'm not sitting down to some screen, you know, this cold, heartless screen, you know. All right, so the other one I want to do is this one right here, because I absolutely love this one. Look at the expression on this child. We're going to go and take the exposure. We're going to lift that exposure up real quick. What we did was we took the heart wooden bowl that we have, and then we stretched a sheet over it. I got a dust spot on my sensor that's driving me crazy. We took one of our newborn blankets and stretched it over as best as possible to create the whole little the look that we have here. And then Shay did an awesome wrap to make him look like a little potato, make her look like a little potato, all wrapped up and nice. So let's go ahead and check that out real quick. We're gonna I'm gonna up the exposure just a little bit. I'm gonna drop the contrast. There we go. Highlights, definitely up the highlights, just to kind of restore anything that might have been blown out, you know, because you're shooting really light with newborns anyway. Shadows, I'm actually putting shadow in, so you can see the difference. If I went like this, see how, but if I go like this and put a shadow in, we're adding depth. See how it kind of gets more depth. So if I'm right here, cool. See a million pictures like that a day. My thing is it looks like a picture. You know, I want it to look like it. You know what I mean? I want it to look realistic. So I'm going to bring that shadow back right there on the side of the baby's face. All right. We've got a little Rembrandt lighting action going on. Very nice. All right. And then I'm going to take my whites and I'm going to drop those down just a little bit so I can kind of control brightness in Photoshop. And then my blacks, not too worried about those. Clarity, we're going to drop clarity down. It helps with the skin softening. Vibrance, always up for me. I like it when it goes up, but I don't want to go so much where baby changes and looks like Donald Trump. You know, I don't want that. We want baby to look nice, warm kind of tone right there, just like that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and open that joker up in Photoshop. What time is it? It stopped me at like 12:45. 12:45, 12:50, because I had to hit that. All right, thanks for the 5 viewers that are watching, guys. I appreciate it. We're just editing a newborn session that we did the other day. Just getting some samples together for them to post on our social media. And it was a great session, man. So I'm just going to trust Adobe right now with this clone stamp situation. They did a good job. Way to go, Adobe. So obviously, as many blankets as I have, it just seems like it's always the blanket that I want to use that is completely wrinkled. I don't know why. It's just always that way. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer, and we're going to go to that first layer, and I'm going up to filter, and we're going to go down to blur, and we're going to go surface blur. Okay, there we go. That's a lot of surface blur, so we're going to drop that back down just a little bit. Just kind of play with it to where you like. Remember, we're not looking at the sheet right now. We're not looking at baby right now. We're looking at the sheet. All right, let's try there. All right, so now we got surface blur. We're gonna go ahead and mask off baby on this one. Brush, 100%. Soft brush works better. That way it blends. And I'm masking baby and the heart box off. So everything that's like right there. Beautiful. Tell you, this picture's fire already. There's not a lot that needs to be done to it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and merge those. Photographers are yelling. All right, so we're going right here, and there's just a little wrinkle right there that I'm gonna take care of with the stamp tool. At about 60% opacity. We're gonna go right here. so I'm gonna go in here, and we're gonna get rid of some of the baby acne formations, stuff like that. And normally my newborn pictures, I don't like the eyes open. I like them closed. I like them sleeping, being all innocent looking and stuff. All the parents were like, "Yeah, innocent." And that's the last time. It was such a hard night of sleep, we were so sleep deprived that I don't even remember most of the time when my babies were newborns, because it was like, "It's your turn." We had twins, so they're like, "It's your turn to feed them." No, it's your turn. Okay, fine, I'll get up and do it. Good, excellent. All right, let's go ahead and fix baby skin. All right, there we go. Let's see. Perfect. Beautiful. All right, got a little bit of a dust, I think, right there. Excellent. There's good. All right, so now we're gonna go to bright. We're gonna go to eyes. I have an eyes setting that has like all the different variations of the eye stuff on it. There it is right there. This is all Greater Than Gatsby stuff. Some of mine on the eye one. But we're gonna go down here. I'm gonna go right into the baby's face, and I want to whiten those eyes. Whoa! I want to make him look like a mutant. So we go catch light just a little bit. Perfect. And this is the difference, guys. This is the difference that we offer here at the studio. We want your pictures to be perfect. We want your pictures to be exciting. And, you know, when you come in, we want you to be so looking forward to seeing them. Just knowing that, you know, that they're going to be, that they're amazing. Do a little composition again. All right, so I want this one a little bit brighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a Leonardo foundation, and we're going to hit that up real quick. There we go. You gotta be careful though with that one, it gets a little red sometimes. And let's go over to Sleeping Gypsy and see what that does. There we go. Beautiful. All right, now I'm just gonna test this out. voila, guys. What do y'all think? Do you like that one? I hope you guys do. I don't know why it says check out new pricing. That's not what we're doing right now. We're just editing. All right. On to the final one. So we had this one, and we turn into this. We had this one, and we turn into this. Now we're on this one, and I think I might just go with the black and white on this one. I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at. So let's go here. I just like the emotion, you know, and luckily all their colors work really well. And as soon as we finish these up, we're going to send them over to Shay to post. So you'll be able to check out all of this on our social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, just pretty much all of it. Pinterest, we're posting on Pinterest now. Just all of it. So as soon as they're done, that's what we'll do. All right. So so this one I have just figured out recently that I have camera dust. I have to go and get my camera cleaned today. So I'm going to take all that crap off there, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and paint it. At about 30% just to make sure I get everything. Excellent. Awesome. All right, so we've got this here. I love connection shots, and with connection shots I like to take the pageantry of the coloration of the outfits and the scene and all that out of the situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit it first within color, but then I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit it again with black and white, just kind of like, you know, to show how great it looks in black and white. Okay. All right. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to say, let's go and start with the skin. Portraiture. Let's go all their skin tones. Right there. Excellent. I got a bruise on baby's leg right here, and something right there. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna get rid of that. And it's summertime, boy. You can always count on bruises and bite marks, buddy. Spent half my summer editing those off. There we go. All right. So with this one, immediately I wanted to put a ray of sunlight where the light's coming from. So we're gonna do a soft golden burst. Excellent. And then we're going to go back to a spoonful of sugar, hit that brightness up. It actually means all right, so now we're going to go to newborn collection 1 because I'm starting to switch over my thought process on this one. Go hickory dickory. Real quick with the raw file. All right, guys. So that's just a couple of samples that we're throwing out today. But hey, check us out, guys. We have literally changed all. Now you can book an outdoor session for $100. So you'll get your $100 that you spent to pennies. If you, I mean, obviously your parents, guys. I don't know how many times I've bought these amazing outfits for my kids, and they be destroyed by the first week of September. Just because, you know, that's kids are rough on things. So I always like to get my pictures made of my children before school started. That way they'd have their, and that booking will last all the way up through the middle of September. If you pre-book, you will get a free 11x14 family portrait. So that's huge. But yeah, that's it, guys. And hope to see you again. See you later.